So what does it look like when one realizes that the walls appear to be closing in? Well, this is how it started.
There was an email that went around from General Clapper to yourself and Hayden. I'm sorry, not Hayden.
That's right.
Yourself and Comey, etc. That basically said we all got to get on board with this, otherwise it isn't going to work, basically. And I think that email puts everybody in the crosshairs.
That was ex-CIA director and Russian collusion hoaxer John Brennan shifting nervously in his chair as he was confronted live on stage by an intelligence officer who had direct access to all the documents proving that Brennan helped cook up the Russian collusion hoax. But that's just how it started. You're not going to believe what happened next. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, enjoying yet another wonderful day in America's golden age that you made possible back on November the 5th. So if you want a front row seat on how you're changing the world in ways you never even imagined, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Former head of the CIA, John Brennan, knows he's cooked. That expression that you just saw there, that panic shifting in his seat as he was confronted by a former national intelligence officer who saw all the documentation proving that Brennan helped concoct this fraud, really says it all. And so does this.
And I think that email puts everybody in the crosshairs. I would like to hear what your justification was for supporting the dossier that was known to be false being used as source material in the second ICA.
I don't know who put you up to this.
Nobody put me up to this, sir. I'm here on my own.
I don't know what role you played or who you are, but it's a bunch of bullshit that you just passed on.
Absolutely. The emails are clear, sir.
Bullshit.
The emails are clear.
Bullshit.
The emails are clear. The second question.
No, I think we're going to go. We can talk about it. Talk about it in the reception.
Russian disinformation.
No, we didn't say that. Get your facts straight.
You said it was likely Russian disinformation.
No, we did not. We said
yes,
it.
you did.
No.
In that memo,
read the letter. I'm
ignoring.
ignoring. Okay.
And I know I'm going to get uninvited
Yeah.
to the after hours.
No, you're done.
Come on. All right, we're going to go over here.
This is disinformation.
Let's go over here for a question. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Over here.
Now, that career intelligence officer confronting John Brennan, that was Thomas Speciale, and he's actually saw all the classified documents involved in what's known as Operation Crossfire Hurricane, which involved the spying on the Trump campaign and then the deliberate attempt at sabotaging his presidency with the Russian collusion hoax. And Speciale knows exactly what happened, who was involved, and he actually had access to a particular email that he believes is the smoking gun that proves John Brennan and others colluded to fabricate this lie. Now, the email he's talking about there is this one. It's been declassified for all to see. It's an email from Brennan responding to DIA Deputy Director for Analysis David Cohen. Now, Cohen was very concerned about the inclusion of what's known as the Steele dossier. That's the bought and paid for opposition research that the Clinton campaign commissioned that was nothing more than salacious lies about Trump. Well, it ended up in what's known as the ICA. That's the Intelligence Community Assessment paper that served as the intelligence report that Obama ordered to be completed before he left office regarding any possible Russian interference in the election. Cohen's concern was that the Steele dossier was being portrayed as legitimate evidence against Trump in that report when everyone, and I mean literally everyone involved, knew it was pure Oppo research garbage. Everyone had no place in this intelligence report. That was his concern to John Brennan that he expressed. And here's how Brennan responded in that email. Brennan didn't just dismiss Cohen's concerns. He formalized his rejection in writing, responding, "My bottom line is that I believe that the information warrants inclusion in the report." He knew it was false, But he wanted it, and we've got the email. He wanted it in the report, and even more revealing when the CIA's two most senior Russia experts, one with extensive operational experience and the other with a strong analytical background, confronted Brennan with specific flaws in the dossier and warned that it did not meet even the most basic tradecraft standards. Brennan's response exposed his entire approach. Yeah, but doesn't it ring true? But doesn't it ring true? That single phrase demolishes any claim that this was a legitimate intelligence process. Brennan wasn't asking whether the information was verified, objective, corroborated, or met analytical standards. He was asking whether or not it could feed a narrative. This was feelings-based intelligence work, not fact-based analysis. And it came from the very top of America's premier intelligence agency, John Brennan himself. It's that smoking gun email that Brennan was just confronted with. And if you thought he snapped there, wait until you see what happened next. Did you know there's a $4.5 billion fund set aside to compensate people injured by vaccines? Isn't that shocking? Again, talk about a total inversion of what we saw 4 years ago. But what's even more concerning is how many people still don't realize that mRNA vaccines may actually cause ongoing damage long after the shot. It all comes down to something called spike proteins. Now, these spike proteins can affect your blood vessels, your immune system, even your brain. And for millions of people, the effects are showing up months or even years later. So what can we do to protect ourselves and rebuild our health naturally? Well, it turns out that the answer starts in your gut microbiome. That's the community of bacteria living inside of you. It's the number one factor for overall health and immunity. But years of antibiotics, processed foods, and toxins have destroyed that balance for most Americans. And believe it or not, the number one thing that you can do for your gut microbiome is consume kimchi. And that's why I am so excited about Kimchi 1 from Brightcore. It's a breakthrough way to get the benefits of traditional fermented kimchi without the mess, the smell, or the hassle. Each capsule delivers over 900 probiotic strains, live enzymes, and powerful antioxidants that help restore your gut flora, improve digestion, support your immune system, and even help with energy metabolism and weight management. It's amazing stuff. It's all natural, non-GMO, gluten-free, soy-free, made right here in the USA. Gang, I take it every day because I want my gut and my immune system working for me, not against me. Now, you can get 25% off right now by clicking on the link below or going to mybrightcore.com/Turley, or better yet, call them at 888-597-0233 for up to 50% off plus free shipping. The first 100 callers even get a free bottle of vitamin D3. Again, that's 888-597-0233. Don't wait. Your gut health is your first line of defense. Give them a call at 888-597-0233. Now, if Brennan thought he was done with that national security consultant, Thomas Speciale, he had another thing coming. Here's the confrontation that occurred afterward when Speciale asked Brennan about why he signed the infamous letter from 51 intelligence officials knowing that the Hunter Biden laptop was indeed authentic.
Why didn't you know on the Hunter Biden laptop? Why? Because I think and you misrepresented that. We never said it was disinformation. We said it was Russian influence operations, which is what they do. There's a big difference between influence operations. No, you don't know that. Yes, Comey knew. Comey knew.
The literature said it had all the hallmarks of, I believe.
Well, so as you could clearly see, I mean, Brennan is hardly rational in his responses to being called out for what he objectively did, which was blatantly, routinely lie in such a way that deliberately sought to sabotage a presidency and interfere in the Democrat integrity of not one, but actually two presidential elections. Now, just last week, House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan formally referred John Brennan to the Department of Justice for criminal prosecution for making false statements to Congress And at the same time, it's being reported that a federal grand jury has been officially impaneled to begin meeting in January in Fort Pierce, Florida. That's in the Southern District of Florida. And this grand jury will investigate everything and everyone involved in the FBI's Crossfire Hurricane operation, with potential criminal conspiracy charges against none other than John Brennan. Now, what's so fascinating here is that Pam Bondi appears to be taking full advantage of the fact that conspiracies are trans-jurisdictional. So constitutionally, a conspiracy charge can be tried anywhere, like crimes involving money wiring. And we're being told that this grand jury is considering evidence that's literally going all the way to the top. We're not just talking Brennan. We're talking Obama himself. And this is all an extension of a report put together by Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard when she officially referred Obama administration officials to the Department of Justice for criminal prosecution for what she called, quote, a treasonous conspiracy. And that term, conspiracy, is key because that allows Pam Bondi to impanel a grand jury basically anywhere. She doesn't have to rely on the swamp in D.C. and the radically corrupt jury system that they have there. She can try these guys in her old backyard. She was the AG under Ron DeSantis in Florida, in a deep, solid red state. And these juries don't kid around. We now know, based on the documents released by Tulsi Gabbard, so we're talking official emails, intelligence agencies, memos, firsthand witness accounts. We now know that as President Obama was leaving office, he and his top officials were told there was absolutely no evidence of Russian collusion or interference in the 2016 election. That was the unanimous opinion from every single intelligence agency. So we're talking the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, and Homeland Security. But instead of accepting that intelligence, the Obama White House deliberately worked to suppress that assessment and push out a different story, a false fabricated story that Trump was compromised by Russia. And as we saw, we now have an email from Brennan himself affirming that he, in fact, knew that the Steele dossier was bunk. That was the assessment of numerous intelligence officers, and yet he demanded that it be included in their intelligence report because it fit an anti-Trump narrative. So the walls are clearly closing in on John Brennan. That intelligence officer who confronted him live on stage didn't just represent his own concerns. He represented every American who deserves honest, non-politicized intelligence, every citizen who watched years of the legacy media's breathless collusion coverage, every person who wondered if our institutions had been corrupted beyond repair. John Brennan's visible discomfort wasn't embarrassment at being questioned. It was the look of someone who knows the walls are closing in and that this time the truth has receipts. Every Thursday I go off script, literally, in the car, in a hotel, on my porch, wherever I am. It's Turley Walks, raw, unfiltered insight exclusive to my Courageous Patriot Club members. Join now for $10 a month, turley.pub/club.